keep our presentation short because I know there's a lot of great acts to follow. So my wife and I built a house out about a mile outside of town, and once we went to closing on our house, we realized that we were not going to be able to have high-speed internet, television, or anything like that here in Lincoln County. And I'm fortunate enough to work here in Fayetteville, work with Higgins Funeral Home, and I often see, even working within the city, the slow pace of some of the internet access that we have here, which can be struggling at times, especially uploading files to the web. So we have a short presentation put together for you here.
Yeah, some of the presentations came in last minute tonight, and it was really difficult to get them downloaded. Something that has photographs in it seems to take forever, even downtown Fayetteville. So it's sort of frustrating. And then I also live. My family's farm is less than a mile from where Chris is. So when you get out into the rural areas, it's almost impossible to get quality internet. You can do it through Verizon, but you're talking multiple hundreds of dollars a month to do that. And so that really limits the amount of people who are going to be able to use that effectively. So this is kind of what Chris and I, we met at the coffee shop with actually different people 2 or 3 times, talked about this. We gave a pretty extensive proposal to the mayor, but just to give you a really quick overview, we gave a really audacious idea, which is getting Fayetteville up and Lincoln County up to Chattanooga quality internet. And I'll say more about that. So what are we talking about in our proposal? Which would be something like an agreement between the city and the county governments to work for grants and other public-private partnerships to achieve 100% gigabit internet access in the Fayetteville-Lincoln County area. What does that actually mean? Well, we know that downtown Fayetteville has relatively good internet. FPU has what we consider good internet. We know that once you get a little further out, it gets worse. And once you get to where Chris and I live, and Felicia and my sister, it doesn't really exist at all. You're burning dollars to watch a YouTube video because it's that expensive to watch anything. People here in the community will be able to do their businesses online. And as he's heard from different families, is the educational system's already moved people toward working online. People in elementary school onward are working on their iPads when they go home. Their homework is on the internet. If you go home and there's no internet at home, you're creating a lot of frustration in the family. One, because how are you going to get that done? You have to go somewhere to make that happen, which adds more miles, more driving, more moving around. And it also, at the end of the day, means whoever that child is having less opportunities to learn and have access to information than somebody who has that in their home. So we're creating a digital divide that's only growing day by day for every young person in this community that doesn't have that access.
Amen.
So why now? 3 things to think about why we would try to do something audacious like this in Fayetteville, Lincoln County right now. Well, the economy is red hot. It is booming. If you're not going to invest in the future when things are going well, you're sure as, not going to do it when it's doing badly. So this is the time to make some big moves when things are going well. We have low unemployment in theory. We have a good, solid economy. Try to invest in the future now, because once things take a step back, there's a recession or something, nobody's going to want to think about big investments. So this is a great time. We have this huge thing, as Chris and I have talked about, the Toyota Mazda plant is coming. There's going to be spinoff from this no matter what. We can either get the dregs of it, or we can get the real cream and get really solid design side things, not just the production, but the actual designers, the high-end people who really want to be here, can employ all of our folks and bring a lot more folks into what they're doing. This would be something that would attract them coming north, as opposed to all the other different directions that they could travel. And right now the governor has also got $46 million checks written to give out as grants to different counties to work on increasing rural broadband. So there are monies in the pipeline. This isn't just completely craziness. There are things happening. States, governors, politicians see this as the future of rural, and this is something that we need to try to access and push for while we can. And not just the low end, why not push ahead and try for something that really nobody else has? And when I talk about Chattanooga, and you're like, well, yeah, we're not Chattanooga. Of course we're not Chattanooga, but here's something that may inspire you. Here are 2 counties in rural Kentucky. They're in eastern Kentucky, hardcore Appalachia, big mountains everywhere, everybody's spread out, miles between the houses. Only 2 rural counties in the entire country that have 100% gigabit access to every household in those counties. And they've done it. There's no reason we couldn't do it. We have easier topography. We have a bigger population. We have a bigger public utility that already has a lot of the tools and the knowledge to do that. It really is about will. It's about trying to get out there and sell ourselves and trying to push for something different, because we can see that our neighbors in Chattanooga have done it, as our big neighbor, our older sibling, and our little siblings in Kentucky have also done it. There's no physical limitation to it happening here. I think it's really about trying to have vision, as we talked about with the vision team. How do we imagine this being our future and us being able to do that? So, Chris, is there anything else that you want to add from your perspective?
Nah.
How are you going to talk that?
I'm here for moral support, thank you. No, I think the key points I really want to point out, so we're very fortunate here in Fayetteville and Lincoln County to have FPU here with a start of what we need in this community. And if we can work together as a city and a county and a utility company to make this happen, it would be very beneficial for us here in southern Middle Tennessee.
Thank you.
All right, well, I will close this one. Anybody any other questions? We're trying to get everybody out of here before it's midnight.
What kind of timeline would that be?
I mean, it would probably be multiple years to implement. I think it probably took about 2 years of actual implementation in the rural counties. I think it was the same for Chattanooga, but they had obviously a lot more connections to make, but it took them a while to do it in the rural areas.
I think this is a more 1 to 5 year plan because the funds are there.
Yeah.
We need to claim it.
Yeah, it's about acting now, I think. And trying to get it. And there's more examples in the proposal that I've given to the mayor. We'll circulate that, but there are other examples of communities building different systems on their own. There's all kinds of ways of going about it, and people in rural communities are trying to do this. So I don't think we should be dallying. I think we should really try to move toward this.